Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. You had to miss me for a couple of days because I took some days off when I was in Lisbon, and in the meantime we had some nice trading setups for BTC. I will quickly go over them. We have a absolute jam-packed episode. If you like this kind of content, then please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think it's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I update you multiple times a day. You can find those links in the description. Alright, cool. Let's quickly head over to BTC USD here on the daily. And as you can see, we kind of have been clustering and trading around this low range here of approximately 19,000, 20,000. We are going to zoom in right away, but I just want to show you that we have a very much of a cluster of support, resistance. We have a macro point of control which shifted all the way to the bottom. We also have then this box that we already had for a very long time, and we have the value area low, the thick blue line here at the bottom that's also there. So it's really getting quite busy at and around these trading ranges. You could say that here on the daily we have a bit of a bullish divergence with the momentum waves going up and the price making new lows kind of measured from here. But at the same time the money flow is going down, and with everything that's going on in the world, I would be pretty careful to put in a swing long based on this daily bullish divergence. Okay, let's quickly zoom into the hourly, because we have some absolute crazy price action, and sometimes it's so weird to see how support lines or trend lines are being respected. I put in this white upper line right here. As you can see, that is this white line, and we have the bottom one, and then I have a blue triangle. Well, the triangle already played out. That was something that a lot of people were looking at. That was exactly the time it was in Lisbon, so that was absolutely perfect. Not a lot to do, shall we say. We had a breakout, broke to the upside. We also had a textbook retest, then went higher, target approximately 20,300 to, let's say, 20,400, hit it perfectly, and right afterwards we just barred pattern down again. That was also a very nice trade. This was during the Asian session, the move up, and here on the move down I caught a little bit of the move, so that was pretty nice. And now we are going lower again. But what is so nice to see is that even then we extend these support and resistance lines, that you can see that they also much later just come very much in play. Like I said, this white support line, we have numerous touch points here, then here, then you see that these 3 hourly candles right here are the kind of the retest to try to move over. That doesn't work. Then it is resistance here again, this bounce here again, and also here on the bottom we just see that it holds very nice as support and resistance so many times. Here's a bounce, and here was a resistance earlier today, and now we're kind of trapped in this very small range. So that's also one of the things that I mean, like it's getting pretty crowded there right now. Alright, so what I'm looking out for, well, if you want to short this and you say, well, we're going lower, then I would say wait for a bit more of a significant bounce to the upside, preferably, let's say, the golden pocket. That will be 19,666 to 19,722. That would be actually a very nice retracement if we go higher and then go lower. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, and if I will pull a volume note over this range, then we also have some more confluence. No, we don't. That is not on this one. Then maybe it is the macro point of control. No, that's lower. Sorry, then it is on Bybit. There we have the value area high of this range right here where we are right now, and I think the macro point of control is just a little bit higher, but also the top of 2017 is then kind of closer by. Anyways, that will be a nice point to put in a short. I'm pressing all kinds of wrong buttons. That would be nice for a long. Then of course you want to see maybe a little bit more consolidation around this macro point of control. That's also exactly where we bounce off now, but I have to say it just looks a little bit bloody. And what I'm concerned about, if you want a long, is that we have a retest after retest after retest after retest of this macro point of control. That reminds me a little bit of the price action that we have seen. If I go back in time, that was here. where we were trading around that 30 and 29,000. We just had a retest after retest of this bottom trend line. That's the yellow one, and eventually then it broke and we went lower. So that is kind of what I'm looking out for right now, that this is just coiling up. We also have this purple trend line. Let me zoom out and it's a little bit more clear. That is actually that came in place since the absolute top. Was a touch point here, a touch point here, almost a touch point here, and now it looks like we are going towards that apex point again. So I would not be surprised if we would eventually bounce off from that exact same point. And here you can see this was the golden pocket and a perfectly support and resistance box. So of course this is a major trend line, the purple one, so could be that I have maybe not drawn it out perfectly, but that yeah, that actually would be a point. So let's say this point approximately, that we eventually would return roll over again and then going lower. September usually is a pretty bad month. I think if we would go out the current price, then we're hitting approximately, I think, -5 or 6% for the month. I think the average is a -7%. So the current price level would make a lot of sense. Other than that, like I said, it's a little bit crowded here with all the support and resistors, but I would then take the golden pocket. And maybe if we were really going lower, that we do something like this, we SFP this bottom, or better yet the 17,600, and then maybe enter a long. But like I said, yeah, with everything that's going on, I eventually expect us to really roll over and go much lower. ETH then, have to say, holding up pretty good actually around that golden pocket. Here the scenario stays the same exactly as last week. If we lose that approximately 1300 where we are trading at right now, then I think we're going lower. 1000 is my target for ETH. Psychological important number. That is also exactly where we see some trading here going on. I think then we are back in that range and we would trade between 1000 and 1300. S&P, real quick, I said I think once we go in the box we have some consolidation to do. We stay there for a while. Well, little did you know, just within a few days we already left that, and you could say, well, maybe you need to extend that box a little bit, but yesterday we created a new low. And actually the way I draw it initially also shows that there is 2 retests of these 4-hourly candles. So I think that's pretty good. We have a support here, then we have some support and resistance here. Yeah, my target was always approximately 3500. Well, I drew now a white line, 3590. Why that exact number is because if we go here, then we see that was a top here, and it was also support and resistance later on in the chart. So 3590 would be a very nice target. If we lose that too, and we are right now trading at approximately 3650, then I will be looking out for approximately 3000, but we're not there yet. That will still take some time. Then the dollar index, that was a bit of a surprise, I have to say, the last few days. My macro target was somewhere between 112 and 120. You can see the box right here that I drew out. I said that is a trading range all the way back from 2001, and I think that is a very nice point to stop. And I actually thought it would take more time. And literally, you know, within a matter of a week when I was gone, we are now at 114. So I kind of hit my macro target. I'm not trading this actively. I'm just using it as an indicator for Bitcoin. So once this thing is rising, then Bitcoin is usually dropping. The same goes for the S&P. And as you can see, this thing is just going absolutely vertical. We're right now here on the weekly. Let me zoom in on the daily. It looks pretty unhealthy. On the other hand, the dollar is almighty. Everything and everyone is escaping or running to the dollar. So this could be the blow off top where we are in right now, where this thing just goes absolutely parabolic. Where does it stop? No one knows. Maybe until that 120, I have no idea. Previous stop and then dropping down. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe we even break it. Let's say go to 122, 124 and then going lower. Maybe we will trace from here and then some sideways action and then going higher again. This thing is just absolutely out of control, shall we say. and everyone's saying, well, it has to correct. I know, but on the other hand, I'm thinking it is just a representation of some currencies, which is the dollar, the yen, the euro. So yes, from a chart perspective, it would make sense for this thing to top out and go lower. On the other hand, with everything that's going on in the world, if people just keep fleeing to the dollar, this thing doesn't really have actually a ceiling. But this was just a very nice cluster here of let's say trading, where you see this triple top formation, really bit of a distribution, and then I said, okay, this is a very nice top. If we could find something like this, that would be nice. So this is what right now I'm looking out for. Other than that, do I really have a target? No, not really. Let's see if we can break that 120. This is right now on the 4 hourly. Let's see if we can reach it. But yeah, from a chart perspective, it looks just a little bit topped out. But we also seen it with Bitcoin that in the top of 2017. Irrationality takes over, and this just goes higher, and you just see major spikes up, huge run to the dollar. That also happened in gold in the previous bull run, and then eventually you just see a massive blow off and then just going low, and that could be the real bottom for BTC, where we just drop down one more time, that we are coiling up here in this bigger let's say perspective, where we actually also on the macro, if we just zoom out, this is actually something I also wanted to show you. I mean, look at this. This is a lower high from the 28.29, then we have a lower high here, then we have a lower high here, and then maybe we'll make another lower high somewhere here, and then really dropping down, or some sideways action, and then dropping down, together with the dollar index spiking up, blow off top, creating a lower low than the 17,600, taking that liquidity, and that was then maybe, hopefully, the bottom. If this would then bottom out somewhere, let's say in next month, that would be nice. It's 28 now. I think Friday is the last day of the month. So that would be nice, and then we'll see where next month has to take us. But that is right now what I'm looking out for. So shorting and bear market and inflation is still the narrative, is still the name of the game, and that's what we're looking out for right now. If I see intermediate trading setups, I will try to post them on Twitter. So if you like that kind of stuff, don't forget to follow me there. And if I see anything else interesting, I will let you know. And maybe I will also do a live session again. New York Open, maybe this week or next week. Looking out for that. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.